there's some good news with Malik and DeMar and Domas getting close to a return. How pleased are you to hear they're progressing and moving closer to a return, and even maybe you might even have them back for a big game on Friday?
I mean, obviously, we want our guys to be healthy, but I'm thinking about tonight before Friday, so, you know, our medical team's gonna keep doing what they're doing. Our guys are gonna keep doing what they're doing to get better, and when they come back, man, it'd be great. But otherwise, we gotta have next man up tonight, and again, embrace the small things, the details, and try to get a win.
Mike, it's the 18th of November, and this is the 11th game that you guys are playing this month. Can you provide some perspective on, I know everybody has to deal with the NBA schedules, but going through a stretch like that, injuries aside, and how a team manages so much workload this early in the season?
You know, I tell you, our medical performance group with Chaz and Zach and Joel, those guys, have been great. Wes Wilcox trying to manage this stuff behind the scenes with Monty, have been great as well. But the reality of it is, my first year, we played our first 15 games in 35 days, I think. My second year, our first 15 games might have been in 32 days, and somebody told me this year our first 15 games is in 26 days. We played our first 15 days in 26 days. But on top of that, you know, you fly from here to Florida, or no, Atlanta to Toronto on a back-to-back, and then back down to Florida. So I have to keep that perspective from the standpoint, new team. I'm trying to get used to them, they're trying to get used to me, but we're playing a lot of games, not a lot of practice time. I'm playing these guys heavy minutes, and so for those guys to kind of endure and go through what we did early on, especially while trying to figure it out, I think there was a point in time we still may, in terms of the West, have more road games than anybody else or tied to it. So I give our guys a lot of credit for trying to stay locked in and trying to do what I'm asking them to do, because they're trying to bring it every night. And like I said, our medical team's done a great job, and you know, Wes and Monty have done a great job trying to manage things behind the scenes with our travel and making it easier and all that other stuff. So it's all hands on deck and trying to contribute in any way, shape, or form, and everybody's doing that, like I said.
Mike, when you look at the rotation tonight, is it a lot like what happened on Saturday with just mismatching guys and just throwing everybody out there, or is there more of a set plan after what you saw on Saturday night?
It was kind of a set plan going into, I don't even know what our last game, but you know, it just happened that way. You know, you start searching sometimes, and it's like, okay, well, this guy played okay. Let's go with him. You know, so it was more of that than anything else, and that's kind of how it's going to be tonight. You know, however we can try to find a way to get a win, we got to search for it, and that may mean everybody on the roster that's dressed may play, or we may only play 9 guys. You know, I don't know. I just know for sure. I hope. Oh, come on, Mike. That you know, I can play Fox a decent amount of minutes, and Keegan as well.
Coach, I know how much you love your practice time. So with the condensed schedule and the heavy minutes that have been played early, how much have you had to alter what you do at practice or practice plans in general?
I do love to practice. The reality of it is, and I don't know when was the last day in October we had it, but we either played games or had days off. Just the way the schedule has been this entire month. We had 2 days where we came in and got shots and watched film. So I know the players do. I don't count that as practice, but we had 2 of those days, and they were a little early in the month. So I honestly, we haven't had a contact practice since training camp, but I couldn't tell you the last time we had a practice where we did offensive drills and defensive drills. not in contact practice, but just offensive, defensive drills, well, getting the shots at. I don't know when the last time, it was sometime in October, I think.
Mike, I know you're not,
More him dictating what he wants to do with the ball than scoring 40 or 60. And what I mean by that is, yeah, the defense may give you this, but you take what you want. And if that's what you want, then take it. But nobody can stop him from getting to what he wants, which is that painted, restricted area. There's not a player out there now. If they throw a second guy at him or a third guy, yeah, that's going to be a little tough. But if you're going to try to play him in single coverage, he's going to get to his spot. And so, again, I don't care what he scores, but I want you to make sure when you walk away from the ball game that you got to the spot, your spots, when you wanted to, and not selling for what they gave you.
Coach, you guys have already played the Hawks this season, but for fans here in Sacramento, it's their first time seeing Risa Shea, the #1 pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Quick scouting report on him for fans who haven't seen him yet, and also how has he improved? Has he improved since you guys saw him last?
Yeah, I mean, he's long, he's a pretty good athlete, pretty good feel for a young guy. Excuse me, he can score on 3 levels. You know, the medium game, he's still kind of finding or trying to polish that area of his game, but he's such a great shooter that you have to close out on him, and he's a good enough shooter to where if he takes 1 or 2 dribbles, he can pull up and knock that shot down. He's I don't know if he's quite to the point where you can just put the ball in his hand and say, go get a bucket every time, but in terms of being a young, long, pretty good athlete with a great feel, handled pass, it likes the defense end of the floor. Atlanta's got a good one, and it's a great opportunity for him to showcase his skills, not necessarily tonight, but on another night in California.
Make them one.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.